Today, I'm going to be telling you the top 10 music video directors that you need to know about going into 2025. This is a part 2 to a video that I made in 2023, so if you haven't checked that video out, make sure you do. But just like last time, this list is in no particular order to who's the best or the worst. Top 10 just looks the best in a YouTube title. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get to my first pick, and that is CSPR Films. CSPR Films is a director, editor, and DP based in Los Angeles. I first came across his channel during a live stream that .com Nirvan was doing, where directors were submitting videos for him to watch. And CSPR submitted a video that, in my opinion, blew everyone's out of the water, and it was called Black Jesus by Brandon Wave. Unfortunately, the live stream isn't up on YouTube anymore, but I remember Nirvan really liking it, and me as well. The cinematography, VHS, and mixed media effects blended really well together. I ended up checking out his channel, and something that I really liked was his branding. His channel is very clean and polished, and his logo puts that certificate of authenticity on each of his videos. He is a super underrated director and should honestly be pulling a lot more views than he is, so make sure you check him out. Next up on my list, I have CJM Visuals. He is a director that I believe is based out of Atlanta and is slowly making his way to becoming a household name in the music video director world. CJM is also someone who has amazing branding on his channel. All of his videos start with his logo, but even without it, you could probably tell that it's his video. He has some of the best color grading in the underground right now. And something that I really like about his work is that he doesn't tend to use any crazy flashy effects. It's clear that he cares more about making the shots crispy and clean so that he doesn't have to do anything crazy in post. His effects tend to be just flashes and wipes, but his colors, locations, and shots are what make the video his own. Now, moving on to someone who is more on the effects side, but also a great director, is Unified Atlantic. Now, when I say on the effects side, I don't mean that he's just a VFX guy, but honestly, that's what initially drew me into this guy. The video that put me onto Unified is Hurricane Mob I Don't Know, which came out all the way back in January, but is easily one of my favorite music videos of the year. The rotoscope tracking effect was something that I've never seen before, and this was one of the first videos that I can remember that used AI generative fill for a lot of the shots, which has now exploded in the music video world, and now is kind of one of his bread and butter effects. He also does some of my favorite titles to open his videos, most notably the ones he does with the artist Swappa. Next up on my list, I have Isaac Garcia. Now, this guy has worked with some pretty big artists like Cordae, NBA Youngboy, NLE Choppa, and even Nicki Minaj. But don't let those big names distract you from the fact that he's super underrated and also giving out free game. You guys know how much I love and appreciate directors who are open with their audience and openly share tips and tricks, because after all, it's way better to collaborate rather than make this all a competition and gatekeep. But yeah, Isaac has done these really cool videos on his channel called Film School, where he basically shares what camera gear he uses and also some of the business side of music videos. And yeah, his style of video is super unique, and something that I've noticed is that he uses a lot of horror and filmic elements in his videos, which as a fan of movies and horror, I can definitely notice and appreciate. Now, speaking of someone who has also been working with big name artists as of recently, but has definitely earned it, is Jack Rottier. Jack has been making videos for pretty much as long as I can remember. When I first started taking videos seriously, I remember seeing his video No Go by Since99. Shout out Since99, by the way. I remember watching it and being like, this is a cool director, I'm gonna go ahead and follow him. And since then, he has absolutely exploded. He's worked with some of the biggest artists right now like BLP Kosher, Yeet, Juicy J. And some of you guys may not know this, but this is the guy who made this video. This song already was turned, but here's a bell. I genuinely think that if it wasn't for this video, the bells wouldn't have been as iconic and catapulted Yeet into the mainstream. Being able to see moments in a song like that and create moments that heighten the song even more is a skill that not a lot of directors have, but Jack definitely does, and I'm excited to see what he does next. Up next on my list, I have Dead Egos. He is also known as MTV Griff. I don't really know his real name, but he is based in Canada and someone that I've been following for a pretty long time now. I don't really like to put directors in categories or boxes because I don't really believe in that, but if there was a category for the best directors doing these geek effects right now, he would be by far one of them. You guys know these effects from the Che videos. It's super popular, everyone's using them, but there's only a few that are able to do it right. When it comes to effects like this, you gotta put your own twist on it, your own sauce, or else it's gonna be sauceless. It's like saying you're going to cook burgers for the cookout, which everyone likes, but you didn't put any toppings on it. You're basic. Even something as small as these end credits, I've never seen something like that before. And that's what I've always liked about this guy. He does other stuff too, but overall his brand is very cohesive and his videos are super fire. Coming in next on the list is Nick from Nowhere, or Nicholas Buckwalter. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. Shout out to all the Nicks out there. I initially found Nick from his collaborations with directors like Nirvana and Keaton Jones for his DP work. I think Nick's huge strong point is his camera work. He clearly knows how to use a variety of cameras and isn't afraid to shoot on film. He recently directed an album trailer for Lil Tecca's album and it was shot on Kodak film. In fact, a lot of his work is on film and he does a great job with it. It's an extremely tough process to shoot on film, and when you're working with high-ticket clients like Saw Baby, Dom Corleo, and Tecca, shooting on film just seems like a terrifying idea. So just for the fact of taking risks like that on his work makes him a well-deserved spot on the list. Now, someone else who I just discovered recently caught my attention, and I knew that he also deserved a spot on the list, and that's Pritchard. Shout out to my boy Nezzy, by the way, great artist, you should definitely check him out. But one day I was hanging out at his apartment and he showed me this video called Bustas by Sempra. And I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my favorite video from this year. This guy is an absolute beast, super creative, and also all the way from New Zealand, which is crazy. I don't really have anything else more to say. He doesn't have a ton of interviews out, but he actually recently released his own book talking about his music video journey. So if you want to learn more about him, make sure you go check that out. Next, we got another director from Houston, and that's Cynical Behavior. This guy's real name is Rottier, and he's been making underground videos for actually a pretty long time now. And recently he made a couple videos with Autumn, which was super awesome to see. The thing that actually drew me to him was actually his logo. And if you haven't caught on by now, having a clean aesthetic and branding as a director helps you gain more eyes and familiarity than you might think. But yeah, it was his logo, and the name is super fire too. His videos are clean, especially the Geeker video by Lil Chica, and as far as I know, he's just a one-man team, so I wanted to include him because I think he's on the path to huge moves this year. And last but not least, I wanted to include an OG, someone that I've been following for so long, and I meant to include him in the last video, but I'm doing it now. You guys know who it is, Nick Welch. This guy is a testament to if you work hard and are consistent, you will be able to make great videos and build a name for yourself. I remember when this Midwest video dropped called Out of Options and saying to myself, wait, this was Nick Welch? Now he's working with everyone, Trippie Redd, Flo Milli, Little TJ, Sexy Red, even Flight Crew. The reason I'm so hyped right now is because I remember when Nick was doing run and gun videos with Tapes and Gunner, and to see the progression over like 3 or 4 years is insane. And with that, I want to close out this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so happy to be making YouTube videos again. Shout out to all the directors on this list. I'm going to leave a link to all their Instagrams in the description below. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and remember, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Peace.